Victor, help out with the. How you guys all doing? How you guys doing? Hey, can you hear me? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're connecting from. Hope your week has been great. If you can hear me, just drop a comment. If you can hear me, drop a comment. If you can hear me, drop a. How has been your week? I hope it's been profitable. I hope it's been profitable. If you have any question, if you have any instrument you want us to look at together, please let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. I see great opportunities in the market today. You don't want to miss those opportunities. You don't want to miss those opportunities. GU is set for buy, EU is set for buy, okay? Let me know in the comment section. Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? Confirm you can see my screen. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you have any questions, if there's any instrument you want us to look at, please let me know in the comment section. So, here, May 2025. Okay, so let's look at the fundamentals for the day. All right, Mayor, good morning. Good morning. So let's look at the fundamentals before we look at technicals. Today is 30th May, and prelim CPI will be released. It's all day. Okay, Euro releasing its CPI today, and by 1:30 the time is not given for this German prelim CPI. For CAD GDP will be released by 1:30 p.m. and United States will be releasing its core PCE price index by 1:30 p.m. So you should expect some volatility on CAD, Euro, and USD pairs. Okay, so we have for today. So let's look at the technicals. Let's start by looking at DXY. Okay, DXY. Let's start with the daily. From the time frame, you can tell dollar is, you can see yesterday candle closed bearish. You can see it closed strongly bearish. I think after filling fair value gap on, I think we had a gap at this point on 1 hour time frame. Let's see 4 hour. So you can see price back to fill this fair value gap, I think. Yep, you can see price pulled back to fill this fair gap, and you can see there's a strong retracement. There was a strong retracement from zone. So at the moment, dollar is buying. I see that as a pullback, a retracement to probably it wants to come fill this fair value gap. Probably it's coming to fill this this fair value gap. Okay, it is still bearish. Dollar is still bearish. Don't buy dollar, sell dollar. Okay, sell dollar. So if a bearish reversal pattern forms after price hits this, go bearish on dollar index. Okay, what I see playing out on dollar index. Okay, look for sells and not buys. Buys are just pullback. That's what I see playing out. The buys are just pullbacks, and they might just use that to trap retail traders. Okay, what I see playing out on DXY today. Look for sales. DXY is going to come clear the liquidity it's created at this point. Okay, it's going to clear it today. Let's see for our. Okay, so I expect DXY to drop to this level. Okay, this low for DXY today. So my bias on DXY is what? Bearish. Bearish. I hope that is clear. If you have anything you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section. If there's anything you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section. Okay. So let's look at yen basket. Let's look at yen basket. Yen basket. Okay, so let's start with the daily time frame. I think yen is still bullish. Okay, yen is still. See, yesterday candle closed bullish, strongly bullish. This is an AMA. AMA indicating change in trend from bearish to bullish. And you can see price pulled back to fill this fair value gap on a daily time frame, and there was a strong rejection from that zone. You can see that. So with what we have on a daily time frame, I think yen is still bullish, but price is likely going to retrace. Okay, might see a little retracement on yen. For long term, I think yen is bullish long term. Yen is bullish long term. So if price breaks out from this high, this resistance, it has created on 4 hour. If a 1 hour, 4 hour candle closes above this high, then we should expect more buys on yen. We should expect more buys on yen. Yen is also likely might want to fill this fair value gap. Okay, it might want to fill this fair value gap it's created here. You can see price has tested this gap. There was a rejection from there, so it might want to fill this gap in bullish. So it's either price breaks out from this resistance for us to buy, or price pulls back to fill this fair value gap for us to buy. That's what I see playing out on yen basket. Okay, so my bias is still bullish. I think yen is going to go for this high, the liquidity residing at this previous high. Okay, that is my expectation on yen. Okay, these highs I think needs to be cleared. There are a lot of stop losses residing at these highs, and there's a high probability they will go for them. I hope that is clear. So yen is bullish, so you should be looking for sales on JPY pairs. Look for sales on JPY pairs, okay? Euro, Australian dollar, and Euro GBP. Okay, we'll look at that in a few minutes. Okay, so let's look at GBP USD. So if my bias on dollar is bearish, I should look for buys on GBP USD. Okay, for buys. So what can you see on GBP USD? I think price just filled a fair value gap on GBP USD. Okay, let's go down to lower time frame. So let's start with the daily. Let's start with the daily. So you can see yesterday closed AMA. It closed as an AMA, and I think what they did yesterday to fill this fair value gap. You can see this fair value gap on. Can you see this fair value gap on the daily time frame? That gap got filled yesterday, and an AMA candle formed after that gap got filled. Okay, then let's go down to after the formation of the AMA candle yesterday. What do we have on 4 hour? Let's see. Okay, so you can see on 4 hour we had. Okay, you can see we had a fair value gap here. We had a fair value gap here. This morning price has tested that gap. So it has not filled that gap entirely, but it has tested that gap. And after price tested this gap, What pattern do we have? This is 4-hour time frame. This is a bullish reversal pattern. This is a spinning bottom. So if the current 4-hour candle is bullish, that would be a confirmation for buy. If the current 4-hour closes bullish, that would be a confirmation for buy. Okay, so if you want to buy GU today, wait for the current 4-hour candle to close. If it closes bullish, then you can buy GBP USD. Okay, so you can see we have a fair value gap here. You can set your first TP at 1.3533. That's about 70 pips from the current market price. So your first TP could be this level. You could also use previous high, this relative equal high, as your second. Okay, that's what I see playing out on GU today. Let's see what's happening on 1 hour. Okay, you can see what we have on 1 hour. Liquidity residing at this previous low has been cleared. Okay, it has been cleared. So patiently wait for 4-hour candle to close. Okay, they might still come for this low, this doji. They know a lot of retail traders that have bought after the formation of this doji, so they might want to come for the stop losses residing at this previous low. So they'll just use that opportunity to also fill this fair value gap. Then you can look for buy. Okay, you can look for buy if this fair value gap and a bullish reversal pattern forms inside this gap. You can look for buy or wait for the current 4-hour candle to close bullish before you take a buy on GBP USD. I hope that is clear. Okay. We'll find similar Euro USD because both pairs are positively correlated. 70% of the time they move in the same direction. Okay, they are positively correlated. So what do we have? Let's start with, I think it closed as an armor yesterday. Okay, it was strongly bullish yesterday. Can you see that? We had a tiny fair value gap here. Price was used to fill that gap. You can see we had a tiny fair value gap here. If you go down to 4-hour, you would see it clearly on 4-hour. So you can see we had this fair value gap. Okay, we had this fair value gap on 4-hour time frame. We had this fair value gap on 4-hour time frame. Price came back. You can see this is 4-hour time frame, and there was a strong rejection from that gap. You can see that. So at the moment, Euro USD is retracing. Probably wants to come fill this fair value gap. And see this fair value gap. Probably it wants to fill this fair value gap. Okay, on 4-hour time frame. Let's go down to 1 hour. Okay, so on 1 hour we have this fair value gap on 1-hour time frame. So this is where I'm considering buying Euro USD. Okay, if this gap gets filled or 4-hour candle closes above the high of this 1 hour, if 4-hour candle closes above this zone, this fair value gap, this level, by USD, it's either this gap gets filled or 4-hour candle closes above this level for me to buy. I hope that is clear. So that's my take on Euro USD, GBP USD buy. Okay, let's see Euro Aussie. My bias on Euro Aussie is bearish. This morning, let's see what's happening. Okay. Let's see. Let's start with the daily time frame. So yesterday was strongly bullish. It was strongly bullish. Liquidity that was residing at this previous high was cleared yesterday. Okay. Liquidity residing at this previous high. After liquidity got cleared on the daily time frame, what pattern formed on 4-hour? Let's see. What pattern formed? So the pattern that has formed on 4-hour after the liquidity got cleared. These are bearish reversal pattern. This is a bearish shooting star, spinning top. These are bearish reversal patterns. So if 4-hour closes below this level, that will be a sell. That would be a sell. My bias on Euro Aussie is I can't buy Euro from the current market price. I want to see price. If you are considering buying, you should at least wait for price to pull back to this fair value gap before you buy. This is where the buy started yesterday. You can see after the formation of this inverted hammer, we had what looks like a bullish spinning bottom here. This is where you should bought Euro Aussie yesterday. So if you did buy Euro Aussie at this price, why would you want to buy at this point? If you are buying from the current market price, the risk you will be taking will be very high. So if you are considering buying, you want to wait for price to pull back to a discount area. If you apply your Fibonacci from this swing low to this swing high, you should see price pull back to the discount area. And at this discount, you have the fair value gap you can work with, you can see. So this would be a good zone to consider buying. Okay. So what we have on 4-hour, 1 hour, okay. You can see the patterns that formed on 1 hour time frame. We had a spinning top here. The next candle closed bearish. You can see also here what we had here, those points. Okay, and price pulled back. So I want to see EA sell. That's my take on EA. EA is a sell. Is a sell. Like I said, you can wait for 4 hours to close below this level. Okay, you can wait for 4 hours to below this level. As you can see, we also had a fair value gap here. We had a fair value gap here. So you could wait for 4 hours or 1 candle to close below this fair value gap before you sell. Okay? Wait for 1 hour or 4-hour candle to close this gap before you sell. That is clear. I hope that is clear. Any question? Any question? Okay, let's look at GBP. Euro GBP. Okay, let's start with the daily. Euro GBP. Euro GBP yesterday was strongly bullish. It was strongly bullish, and after the close of yesterday candle, what pattern do we have on 4-hour time frame? Let's go down to 4-hour. So you can see on 4-hour, we had, I think we had a fair value gap here on 4-hour. Let's go down to 15 minutes. I think the pullback was to fill a fair value gap. Let's see. Okay, let's go to 1 hour. So on 1 hour, as you can see here, we had a fair value gap at this point. We had a fair value gap, which will be the reason for that pullback. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to 4 hour. Okay. Pullback, fill the fair value gap. Okay, it's fill the fair value gap, and you can see the market is trading below this gap. It's below this gap. So I think Euro GBP is bearish at the moment. It's going to come and fill this fair value gap, and it could also clear the liquidity residing at this previous low. So Euro GBP is bearish. Euro GBP is bearish. Okay, Euro GBP is bearish. Okay, let's go. We'll look at gold in a few minutes. Okay, that's what I see on Euro GBP. Which previous high are you referring to, Mr. Mayor? Which previous high? Is it on Euro GBP? Is it on Euro GBP or Euro Aussie? Is it GBP, Euro GBP or Euro Aussie? Let me know. Okay. Gold, gold, gold. Let's start with the daily. Okay. On the daily time frame, we had a fair value here yesterday. That fair value gap has been filled, as you can see here. And yesterday candle closed as an hammer. And I believe after the close of that candle, a fair value gap created on a lower time frame. And that's the reason for the retracement. Let's see. H4. So you can see gold created a fair value gap at this point. Okay, you see the fair value gap? Created a fair value gap. I think we have one here too. Okay, have this fair value gap. Okay, so we have this fair value gap. Okay, and we also have this. So we also have this, and you can see price has filled this first fair value gap. So if a bullish reversal pattern forms on gold, okay, if this candlestick, I think this candle will close by 11, I think. If it closes bearish, wait for the next candle, the next 4-hour candle to close bullish. If the hour candle closes bullish above this level, then you could consider going bullish on gold. My bias for gold today is buy. Okay, my bias for today is buy. And gold could come for these liquidities. Okay, gold could come for all these previous highs. Let's see 1 hour. Okay, so I would like to see 1 hour or 4-hour candle. You can see the resistance here. Okay, so I'd like to see 1 hour or 4 hour close above this zone. Okay, above this zone for me to buy gold. It's either price pulls here to fill this value gap, or it breaks out from this gap, this resistance area for me to buy. So that's my take on gold. Look for buys on gold. Look for buys on gold. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Which previous high are you talking about? Are you referring to the daily high, yesterday high? Is that what you're referring to? Mr. Mayor, are you referring to previous day high? Are you referring to the previous day high? So guys, that will be all for today's session. If there are no questions for today's session, is there a question? Let me know. Or is there any other instrument you want us to look at? Let me know in the comment section. Yes, daily high. And you know the high of the previous day or the previous week is always used as liquidity. So when market clears, or when price clears liquidity, you wait for the next candle to close. If the candle closes as a bearish reversal pattern, it's an indication that that's breakout from the previous day high. It could be a false breakout. Okay, it could be a false breakout. It could just be they just use that move to clear the liquidity. So if the next candle closes as a bearish reversal pattern, you should know that's a false breakout. It's a false breakout. And like I said, you cannot be buying Euro or C at the current market price. When you open your chart, you want to know where price starts going up if you want to buy. Okay? Always see the instrument you trade, see it as a product. See it as a product. Okay? Let's say this Euro Australian dollar is a laptop. And this laptop was sold for $1,000 last week. And today it is selling for $5,000. Would you want to buy at $5,000? Let's assume you're going to sell the laptop. You want to buy to sell. Last week, you were told the laptop was sold for $1,000. This week, it's selling for $5,000. Would you want to buy at $5,000? Only when you are not informed. When you are not informed about the price it was sold last week, that is where you buy at 5,000. But if you have sold that laptop $1,000 last week, you definitely will not buy it at 5,000. You want to wait for price to retrace, maybe to 3,000 or 2,000. Because if you buy at 5,000 and the price drops to 2,000, you will lose almost 3,000. But if you buy at 2,000 and the price goes up to 5,000, you will make profit if you sell it. And if you buy at 2,000 and the price drops back to 1,000, you will lose just $1,000. So if EA started buying from this point, why would you want to buy from this point? You want to buy because of FOMO, fear of missing out. Even if you apply your, what's it called? If you apply, what's it called? Stochastic or SI on Euro or C, you would see that overbought. Let me just go, let me use the chart. Yes, let me, Euro or C. Euro or C. If you apply stochastic or RSI, you would see EA is overbought. Let's see. Okay, so here is the, okay, so let's apply, what's it called? Stochastic or RSI. Let me just use stochastic. Let's see. So let's go to 4-hour and daily. You can see, can you see it on daily? You can see that it's overbought. You can see that it's overbought. This is 4-hour. Let's go to daily. You can see also on a daily time frame. You can see that it's overbought. So you cannot be buying at overbought. You can't, right? You can't be buying at overbought. You want to wait for retracement before you buy. I hope that is clear. Okay, so that's my take on Euro Aussie. That's my take on Euro Aussie. So that will be all for today's session. Please, if you're yet to like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. And if this is your first time participating on the live stream, please subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come on live, you get notified by YouTube. Please, as you trade today, ensure you apply proper risk and management. Without proper risk and money management, you won't make money in Forex. You won't be consistently profitable. You will make money this week. Next week, you give it back to the market. Okay, so ensure you apply money management. It is the secret for successful trading. The desire to achieve consistency, to be constantly profitable in the market, you have to apply proper risk money management. Use stop loss on all your trades. Use stop loss. Before you execute a trade, you should know the risk involved. If you don't know the risk involved, don't take the trade. Define your risk and your reward before you execute the trade. It's very important. It's very important. All right. Do have a wonderful day, and I wish you a peaceful weekend ahead.